I decided that the greatest voices in Africa should come together and start to speak for how Africa should be governed by Africans and not foreigners and not other people who are interested in whatever resources that we have in our countries. But we should be responsible for our own human resource and mineral resources. As a black society, we have been doomed and disrespected, undervalued by everybody in the Western world. And Africa is about to grow because we are ready to add value to humanity. And I came here to do that. I came here to add value to this world and to nature. I am not going to live here without God even being proud of me. If I'm the reason why the country or the government is not happy about these great voices coming to educate not only Ghana, but also Africa, then I'll take this moment to sacrifice myself, to unveil myself. The man in the mask is sitting in front of you. We probably would choose another African country one of these days and still spread the word of the convention. I grew up in a farmland somewhere in Ghana, in Kumasi. And I was birthed by a woman who is a spiritualist. And she raised me on a farmland. But she raised me with the fear of the Lord. And she gave me a capital. The capital was the advice she gave me. She said, son, learn how to give to the world, and the world will always come embracing you. I took those words with me. And that was the beginning of the birth of the New Africa Foundation. That wasn't the name then, but we were givers. So we have been givers for 3 decades. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew. But I thought that having a foundation was just about giving. As it was growing, I realized that it's also about being responsible for the society you belong to. And that's how today we're sitting here. 7 months ago, I decided that the greatest voices in Africa should come together and start to speak for how Africa should be governed by Africans and not foreigners and not other people who are interested in whatever resources that we have in our countries. But we should be responsible for our own human resource and mineral resources. And the only way to do that is to industrialize our people and our minerals. So I want to use this moment to first of all thank all of you to accept this invitation. How would I have thought of myself that coming from a farmland, 6-year-old boy that didn't have anything, would one day call upon people like you, and you accept my invitation? A young man like me, and people that can birth me, people that can be my aunties, my uncles, my leaders, my presidents. But you listen to the voice of the young man, and you came here to speak to the youth and the people of Africa. They say the greatest creation, or the most pinnacle creation, is the human's mind, and it must be used for a good purpose. Africa is lacking education, but not the type of education like Doctor was talking about. The sort of education that should come from our own. How to learn about our own resources, how to know to add value to our people. When you take value away from people, you stop the economy of your own country. You stop the growth of your own country. When you add value to the people, the country starts to grow. And Africa is about to grow because we are ready to add value to humanity, to the people who are Africans. So the purpose of New Africa is not only to give you food, is not only to organize a convention for us to meet and give you knowledge, but it's also to stand up and become responsible for the social responsibilities of this continent that will build the youth. For the future of Africa is in the hands of the youth. They have more years ahead of them. And at least we have lived half through our lifetime, and some of us have even gone past that. But we thank God for giving us life. And we need to think about our children. We need to think about the youth who are coming up. So again, when I look at this opportunity, I don't take it lightly. You might call it a failure. I see it as an opportunity. Being here and being with us is 4 different leaders from 4 different sides of Africa coming to Ghana makes me feel that this is the headquarters of Africa. People have value for Ghana. They have value for Accra. When I was growing up, one of my favorite mentors was Kwame Nkrumah. And I had to find out the true story about him. His mother used to cross a river to go to the farm. And one day, in the river, his mother had stepped on a fish. And he pointed the fish and said, "Mama, you're standing on a fish." So the mother dipped her hand in the water, picked the fish, and they said that was illegal according to the tradition of the Nzimas. So they took the fish and Kwame Nkrumah to the palace. And the chief, the king, said, "Who found the fish?" And the woman said, "My son." And the king said to the woman, "Cook the fish for your son to eat." Now the point that I'm trying to make is that Kwame Nkrumah was ordained. He was already ordained, and we couldn't change that. Patrice Lumumba is ordained. Dr. Arikana is ordained. Peter Obi is ordained. We need to start to respect ordination. Our leaders are ordained for a reason. Who would have thought that kid at the back of the woman one day will have the whole world talking about him, about the changes that he wanted to bring in Africa? The leaders of Africa, I would like to use this moment to urge that please look into your youth. You have the Nkrumahs in there. You have the Marcus Garveys in there. You have the Martin Luthers in there. You have great leaders in the youth. Give them the chance. Let them just help. Let them add value to the people. Let them support us. Let's support ourselves. Let's build ourselves again. And on this note, I would like to say sorry to those that couldn't participate with us in the convention. But right here, I am seeing the convention.
This is the convention.
This is the birth of the convention.
This is the convention.
So I would say that we probably would choose another African country one of these days and still spread the word of the convention. Because today marks a constitutional day in our country, and I believe that New Africa is born again here, and the convention has sparked from here. So I would like to encourage all of you to believe in this convention that the voices of Africa is being ignited for the right reasons. And thank you very much. In 21 years of my life, I have been serving a nation, working so hard just to become an example of what wealth looks like. And building wealth comes from knowledge, comes from wisdom, comes from understanding. You need to get this value from your own surroundings. I grew up partly in Ghana, partly in England, and I came back to Africa. 2001. Unlike Martin Luther, I did not have a dream. I had a vision. I started watching the youth and the streets and the roads, the rules and the regulations, the conditions and the constitutions that is stipulated and embedded on us as Africans. I had to walk on a different path, and I was alone. My investment on the roads became a landmark. And whatever I invested on this landmark is a footprint. I am here for a legacy. I am part of your historians. that I know many people want to see the true side of me. I know you know Nana Kwame Bediako, but I know you're still looking for freedom, Jacob Caesar. Yes, I am Ray Christian, and I'm here. I'm not here to take your value. I'm here to add value to you. I discovered that the land that we belong to had so much wealth that until we turn it into our own, our economy will never be sustainable. And we cannot forever live in our countries with a box economy. I needed to create a middle income economy without being a part of the government. Why so? Because I believe it's part of my responsibility. I took a different path. My movements, my foundations, my groups, and all of this have acquired some wealth. But the wealth that I reinvest back into society, it has become a part of my mission to make this change. I believe that I belong to Africa. I am a son of this soil, and I can add value to humanity, and I came here to do that. I came here to add value to this world and to nature. I am not going to live here without God even being proud of me. And when I'm not here also, I want you to remember that I came, and I want my absence to be felt. And for that reason, I know you're looking for the man. But the man in the mask is sitting in front of you.
What's up? What's up? Thank you.
I am nothing to be scared of. I came to you as your salvation. I don't invest in myself alone. I am investing in you. And truly, these innocent leaders sitting beside me, of course I will not go to them and tell them that, hey, I am a man in a mask and I want you to come to Ghana to support me to do this and this. And this man of this dignity and this woman with such power will say, yes, I'm going to follow you to come to Ghana to do your convention and all of that. No. It is part of the movement. We need to educate. We need to uplift our children. We need to voice out to them. If you are about to find out about this man in the mask, because I never spoke a word, you were looking for me. I didn't tell you whether I am into politics, whether I am an evangelist, whether I am a conventionist or a revolutionist. After this day, you will have to wait for me to share my policies and my visions with you. And if I'm the reason why the country or the government is not happy about these great voices coming to educate not only Ghana, but also Africa, then I'll take this moment to sacrifice myself, to unveil myself, because I have much respect for these great leaders beside me. It would have taken my own time to tell you that I am. But for this very moment, I am sacrificing myself to let you know that I'm that man. But I'm that man with a good purpose, with a great vision. I have a plan and I have a vision for this nation. And not only this nation, I have it for Africa too. But I know Africa is the next biggest thing, because out of all the continents that have been developed in this world, there is only one continent that is not developed. And I am sent to do that. I am not interested in people's positions. I am not interested in presidential positions. I am interested in the regions and the humans. I am interested in the countries. I am interested in the continent. The resources here, the human resources here, the great opportunities to be able to prove a point to the world that this is what we can make out of ourselves as a black society. We have been doomed and disrespected, undervalued by everybody in the Western world. My pain is in my heart and I can't express it to you, so I let my actions speak for me. I want to thank you very much for this moment, and I want to thank its greatest leaders. Your voice will never leave us as Africans. And it's the beginning of a new Africa, a new nation, a new dawn, a new mindset. Everything is new. Thank you.